is something simple. We have a proof that the DDT cannot kill anybody, and it has never killed anyone. If there is anyone here who knows that DDT killed one person, please, I challenge you, come here in the name of God.
Apply toxicity, because that toxicity is cheap, is a very cheap idea.
If we could only assemble the corpses of one single day and not 320 corpses to City Square, that's when you know the magnitude.
We are dealing with zero tolerance.
Every Ugandan has a responsibility to protect the environment.
If they are not careful, it's going to result into economic genocide of this country. Why are people telling lies that there is zero tolerance to DDT?
If DDT is cheap, the lives of Ugandans are not cheap.
Life is precious, and the weight of Uganda is we, not the environment or anyone.
I'm sorry to say that I've never had the misfortune of sitting through a session of such rabble-rousing nonsense in my life.
So I'm walking to the water where birth and death collide. Oh, I'm walking to the water.
It's not out of laziness or out of stupidity that the government here and the World Health Organization is trying to help countries do interresidual spraying. It's because we're running out of options. We know that DDT is better than alternatives because it stops mosquitoes from entering houses, it irritates them, so when they enter they will leave before feeding, and it kills them. And it's cheaper and it's easy to use. We're reaching a point now where continually discussing alternatives actually costs lives. I mean, this isn't a game we're playing here. This is serious business.
A female mosquito, a female mosquito, Mrs. Anopheles, Mrs. Anopheles, when she bites you, she causes malaria, she causes malaria.
My biggest reservations about DDT are that the infrastructure is very poor in Uganda, so the consistent and safe delivery of spraying inside people's homes, which will have to be repeated, is going to be very difficult to deliver.
The next question is, who here has had malaria? Raise your hand.
If you ask people, if you have the opportunity to ask people in these situations, most of them have heard only bad things, if anything at all, about DDT, and they don't want it sprayed inside their houses. They ask me, what do you think of DDT? Tell us about it. Is it safe? We heard that they don't use it in America. Why are they bringing it to us here?
We are going to teach you today about the science of malaria, how you get it, and then how you can protect yourself and your families from getting it in the future.
I would be worried about it ending up in the soil and in the water and in the food chain over a prolonged period of time. Who's to say that, DDT doesn't accidentally, shipment of it doesn't accidentally disappear and end up being sprayed outside of people's homes in crops for different uses without it being in a controlled fashion. I just think it'll be very difficult to regulate it because it's very difficult to regulate anything here. There has been a big debate about export products being contaminated with DDT and then turned away. That could be a big hit to Uganda's economy. If Uganda doesn't have a good economy and get out of poverty, then nothing is going to be able to be implemented. It's just going to go further sliding down the slippery slope the wrong way. I mean, I am not opposed to indoor residual spraying. I just don't know if DDT is the right thing to be spraying.
So I'm walking to the water, and I'm not coming back. Oh, I'm walking to the water. Ooh.
Actually, the malaria problem, one need to look at history, and ask himself or herself, what did the countries that used to have malaria do to get malaria out of their system? And that way, one thing we get clearly is that there was a very active usage of chemicals such as DDT in Europe and parts of the United States, where they had to get malaria out of the way. And much later now, they had the luxury to say, well, let's not use it. The danger was already down. But then for Africa, we can't afford to do that. And taking recognition of the fact that other countries have some fear for DDT, I think what we need to do in Africa is to have a calculated approach of using DDT so that we eradicate malaria from the continent. Looking at Africa, which has several other diseases which are targeting adults. So you can imagine if adults are dying of other diseases and malaria is taking away the children, then we are looking at an empty continent.
I faded fast from a girl with something to hide. Heaven swept my floor since her love for me died. And I'm walking to the water where birth and death collide. Oh, I'm walking to the water. Ooh.